Now we have two event handlers, and if we look at our page, it looks like we're going to actually need 7. 2 for these two and 5 more. Notice that we're repeating code over and over again. So is there a way we could put this in a function and call it with each different event handler so that we didn't have to do so much repetition? Let's notice what is changing. Well, what is changing is the ID. So we have movie adult quantity here and movie child quantity here. Then we have movie adult total here, movie child total here. And then movie adult price here and movie child price here. So it's the IDs that are changing. Everything else is exactly the same. Another thing we can notice is that these IDs match each other. So they all start with movie adult, and then there's quantity, total, price. Right? And these ones that all start with movie underscore child, and then there's quantity, total, and price. So if we know the first one, so if we know the quantity ID, we can figure out that the total is going to be exactly like it, except the QTY is replaced with total. The price is going to be the same, except the QTY is replaced with price. And we can do some string manipulation to make this work for us. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and create a function. Now notice this is a function we're going to call when we want it to, so it's going to be outside the add event listener function. And I'm going to simply call it update cost. And I'm going to say that I'm really going to need that quantity ID. And if I have that, then I can figure out all the others are. So if you send the quantity ID, I can figure out the rest. Let's go ahead and see how we would do that. So we can figure out the price ID. It's equal to, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the quantity ID and call the replace function. So there's a string replace function, and what we're going to do with this one is we're going to say when in this string, when you find quantity, replace it with price. So what this replace function will do is it will take a string. So let's say that it send it movie child quantity. It will take that string as the quantity ID and it will replace the quantity part with the price part. And we get that new ID that will work for the price ID. And that's what replace does. We want to do that same thing for the cost. And this will be the cost ID. And we're going to use the quantity ID and use replace. But this time we're going to replace the quantity part of it with total to match that. And so now we've been able to figure out how to get those strings, the IDs. So if we have the quantity ID, we can actually figure out what the price ID and the cost ID are for the matching elements.